Hello, welcome my dear teachers. Are you following the ILTH method, SATIP process or ABCD series? Welcome to the Teacher Empowerment and Career Development series, and I am Dr. Rajni Rao, your friend and coach, and in today's session we will discuss in detail reviewing why ILTH and SATIP method. Is it possible to bring in the same concept in the numeracy? Let us understand the pattern polarity, and let us also discuss on how this can trigger the memory and brain development. And finally, let's review whether this method can help the future coding brains. Welcome to the series. My dear friends, it would be a debate indeed, and look at these three methods that we are all using in our classrooms. Well, some of us believe that ILTH is a very good method for us to introduce letters. Why? Because the patterns are simple. The child can understand the pattern formation of the letter and memorize it faster. For example, I has only one standing line, L has a standing line and a sleeping line, T has same standing line, sleeping line. So like this, all the letters which has only standing line and sleeping line come under ILTH method. So this is first method. Number two, some of us introduce SATIP letters. First, why? Because we feel that when we introduce these letters with the sound, the child will be able to pick up the reading skill fast, because we can make many primary simple words using these letters, that is SATIP and further. Well, the third one is the traditional ABCD introduction. Now, my dear teachers, there is a lot of debate that is going on which is the correct method. Is it ILTH? Is it SATIP or ABCD? And now today, let me give you some important information based on which you can make a mindful decision or a choice. So let us understand this further. Now, we are making this choice in this 26 letters. We have three ways to introduce the foundation numeracy. Can we also do this in the foundational numeracy series? While we introduce the numbers 1 to 10, do we have the flexibility and the freedom to introduce all the numbers which has basic patterns first? Can we do that? Never, because this is counting. You can see it on the screen. This is counting, and children cannot count the next number unless and until they know the previous number. And now when we are following this methodology, and when we cannot or should not alter this series, then why should we alter the A to Z series? If you notice carefully here. So for the child to write this number 2, let me have the chalk piece. For the child to write this number 2, pattern of the letter B will definitely help. Do you agree? When the child is tracing or practicing letter B, writing 2 also becomes very, very easy. The patterns are almost same. And later, when the child is writing 3, again the letter B will help the child, or there is interconnectedness. If the child is writing number 3, number 2 in numeracy, then it helps the literacy as well. So now you can see number 5 is again B, number C is letter C, and letters like G has the same patterns. So when numeracy and literacy can work hand in hand with some basic patterns, why can't we continue with the ABCD series? It is only complementing each other. It is not distracting. So if we are not doing this, then there is every possibility for the child's brain to develop the pattern polarity. That means The child is learning some patterns in literacy and some other patterns in numeracy. The child will be now left alone in the numeracy while trying to write the numbers 2, 3, which has the B pattern in that. And number 4, when it comes to memory and brain development, my dear friends, I would definitely like to address this. Nowadays, all of us feel that memory is of no use. We need not learn A to Z in series because we don't need to memorize this series or this sequence anywhere in our life. This is the biggest or this is the most strongest reason that every educator is trying to give to avoid the A to Z series or A to Z methodology in the classroom. Now let me help you understand that inside our brain there are several cells, and few cells to be active need to exercise on the memory skill. So when you are memorizing, a part of your brain remains active, and that part of brain control many other functions or operations in our body. For example, when you are memorizing, the first thing is the neocortex brain is very, very active. And when the neocortex brain is active, attention and focus can be enhanced. And if we are not using memory, these cells inside the brain will stop working. Darwin's theory is always working. Use it or lose it. And when you are not memorizing and when you are not activating those brain cells, which is in turn responsible for the activation of focus and attention, the child will not be able to focus and become attentive. And there are several other neurological conditions which is controlled just by activating the memory, the part that gets activated in the brain just by memorizing as we grow. So my dear educators, please don't underestimate the ability of the memorization activities. It will definitely enhance the brain performance, which in turn controls many physiological activities of the body. So when we have this perspective as well, ABCD, memorizing ABCD in a sequence or a series is only beneficial. It is not creating any chronic problems to the child. It is not a stress builder. We can definitely continue with our ABCD methodology. And not last but not the least, and when it comes to the coding brains for the 21st century, I will give you an example of two names that we are using in our foundational literacy classes, that is Aaron and Anna. And now if I ask the child which name will appear first in dictionary or in the coding terms, the child should be able to decide that Aaron, Aaron, comes first even before Anna, Ana, because AA comes first and AN comes later. Even if you are trying to develop the pre-coding skill, this progression or this sequencing will only help the brain. This will never cause any chronic destruction to the brain. So my dear educators, now I leave it to you on which series you want to implement in your classroom, but follow the coding phonics methodology to introduce letters in whichever sequence you would like to introduce. So what are you doing now? You are discussing this issue with your other colleagues, friends, parents, and figuring out which is the best method to introduce letters in your classroom. And I will catch you in the next video.